Hi, everybody. This is Joanna from Universal Love Light, Heavenly Radiance, and Joanna's Ascension, Multidimensional Healing Systems and Co-Creations. There's so many names. I know I'm going to change them. Thank you for being patient with me through all of my creative expressions. The farther and deeper and wider I go into awakening into who I am as a soul, as a spirit, as source creator, constantly creating new beginnings, constantly creating new ascension, higher vibrational teachings and healing systems. Um, and so there are so many exciting and great things coming. And I love you. So thank you. Welcome to this beautiful morning. It's June 22nd and a beautiful morning. I'm up early. My kids are sleeping. So I wanted to do a teaching today before I get busy and out and about. And we wanted to talk about a beautiful and really expansive part of the human conditioning that allows us to move into a higher vibrational experience is the understanding of what we know to be. And again, we've said many times in our offerings that we're constantly moving in a transmutation to higher vibrational experiences. And so know that, again, we've called in the highest teams. I can already feel my heart opening in our sacred communion. So thank you for the highest and the best, Lord Michael, protecting our space from above, below, and all four corners, as well as your healing teams and your guides, and these Christic collections of higher vibrational light experiences for the human potential to expand into the highest light capacity that we are, allowing ourselves to be a part of these higher light programs to create that belonging of our oneness within our galaxy and our omnipresence within ourself, within and without. It's all an omnipresent fluidic movement, which we'll share with you later in this offering about attachment. I was given a beautiful vision just before I came on the air, and it ties it up really nicely. And I'll give it to you now, actually, and then we'll tie it up again at the end. We're all the omnipresent micro-macro experience. So if we see ourselves as these beautiful cells of pristine energy that we are of Source Creator, constantly transmuting the density within the cell to create that highest light vibration of the cell in that micro experience, the macro experience. We're all, as a collective, moving through this big wave of awakening, ever shifting and transforming the cells within the cell group of cell groups, and so forth. That's what the oversoul is. The oversoul of oversouls is the soul families of light, the cells of light that we all belong to as a collective, as an individual. So knowing that who we are as individuals affects the all, affects the cells around us. That's no different than what's going on within us when we have dis-ease or illness. And they were showing me that as one individual cell wakes up and turns on, and that light vibration oscillates at a higher frequency of transparency, illumination, and enlightenment, and the other cells around it also have that opportunity from that activation, because their cells and their fields are also awakening, bringing their fields and consciousness into a higher stream of vibrational potential. And so all of those collecting and gathering cells are now moving at a new wave of vibration. Remember, our universe is based on the vibratory waves of harmonics. And so this is what we're doing as a collective. And these higher vibrational offerings are so exciting for us to just visualize that, regardless of what we feel in this old perspective, if you will, because we're always seeing through the eyes of where we're at in any one moment through our level of awareness, our consciousness. As we raise our consciousness, we're seeing through new eyes and new perspectives. Therefore, what we thought we might have been entrenched in and hard to see beyond through the forest of the trees, we're allowed to step outside of and say, this is where I choose to be, through this divine sacred centering that we've always talked about. The divine sacred heart is so important. It is the mechanism of transmutation. It's the mechanic of your ability to see beyond and go beyond. And that really allows us that opportunity to transmute, transform, see beyond, reach higher, expand, press out. And this is what this whole collective of cells are doing as we gather, vibrationally we gather. There's no accident why you're connected. Already clearing why you're connected to, and I'm excited to connect when and where you do, with and with whom. These cells are all gathering in these vibratory harmonic songs, and they're all being pulled together and orchestrated by higher templates, transparent templates of vibration that are all threading it. They're like little vibrational threads that pull cells together, pull the song together, if you will. And that's what's happening at the micro macro perspective, and it's layers and layers of sheets and programs of light. And we're all being pulled up into these new programs of experience. And those that are still experiencing their challenges and constantly bumping against resistance and challenge and density, those programs are going to run together as well, and always be lifted up. It's always a process of evolution. They're just various ranges and dimensional planes of vibrational evolution. And so what we're offering here is to step beyond the 3D into the 5D perspective of how we express, explore, and experience ourselves, all that we exist within, what exists within us, and who we truly are as omnipresent beings. And in doing so, we can release the human patterning, we can release the human conditions. We say human conditions with great reverence and great honor because it's who we are as light. And we've always learned and offered in our offerings that to move through the ascension process, the enlightenment process, the soul fulfillment process allows us to truly to move to that expansive experience of higher consciousness, higher light frequency, is always done through that central portal of love, forgiveness, and compassion. And in this portal of love, forgiveness, and compassion, we offer the vibration of honor, appreciation, acceptance, and allowance, and so many other evolutionary vibrations. Remember, we're living in a harmonic song template. So if we're offering those vibrations of our transmutational choice, our free will, we always have free will of how we choose to move through an experience. How we choose to move through it will allow us to entangle within those threads, as ever-lifting threads, into those templates of vibration. If we offer a vibration of damned if you will, damned if you won't, and who cares, this is my choice kind of experience and energies, then those vibrational threads will be experienced, and you're going to keep coming back around until your soul desires you to get to that new template of, as we said yesterday, with our sacred sound vibration of that record. You will continue to have the dust on that record, if you will, until it gets cleaned off through love, forgiveness, compassion, therefore offering into those open, expansive, ascension, soulful fulfillment vibrations of allowance, acceptance, honoring who you are, honoring the experience, appreciating the experience. All of those experiences allow the soul to grow, because we are in and of itself, remember, who we are, what we exist within, and what exists within us. Those are those three key attributes of all that we are as source that are desiring that soulful fulfillment. Oftentimes the path is not easy, and we keep returning to those 3D cycles because they're patterns. They're patterns of attachment vibration. This is what we want to talk about today. Our ascension offering today is attachment. What really is attachment? How do we move beyond it? And how is that playing a part of our 5D experience? And it goes, attachment is a very multi-dimensional, multi-layered experience, as everything we move through. Because we're not only healing who we are as individuals, again, the micro-macro, we're healing the collective cell wave that is being asked to move into new waves of vibrational templates. And so let's talk about attachment. I've been moving through the process of releasing attachment. We all do. Every new phase of enlightenment, when you reach up in that new space of lightness, you're going to be opening into a new level of detaching, because detaching is your pure oneness with source, meaning that you need nothing else but that of source. Now, because we've come from such a thick vibratory experience, Earth is one of the most polarity driven experiences within our galaxy, which means that all beings and all experiences throughout the galaxy, we've come here through our DNA, our experiences, through all forms that we've chosen to experience, to bring these culminating energies to Earth so that we can rewrite the soul blueprint. We can rewrite the collective consciousness's desire as a collective vibratory wave to move into greater expansiveness and reunification. As a sovereign collective, we choose as a sovereignty to move within greater oneness and greater unification as source, being in our oneness, being in our ability to love and honor one another. Again, those are all the reunifying frequencies of those higher templates of vibrational song, vibrational harmonics that move within not only collective communities, countries, but they're also moving within, obviously, planetary, galactic, universal omnipresence. And this is why I was shown many years ago, because our whole entire universe, the multiverse, is moving through an important trigger point where new universes, planets, and galaxies will be created from those waves of consciousness expansion and pressing out of who we are as consciousness. All that we are, all we exist within, what exists within us is consciousness source. seeing beyond the human form, but knowing that the human form is that sacred vessel, how to nourish it, how to care for it, how to self-soothe, how to love and forgive and create that compassion so that we can press out. We can't press out if we're stuck in the systems and the cycles of old patterns. And that's what attachment really is. They're multidimensional experiences of separation. They're a multidimensional experience. Attachments come in the form of our physical template, our mental template, our emotional template, our etheric template. Various threads, densities, and experiences held within the psyche, held within the entire multidimensional bodies of our belief, our perspective. Remember what we said earlier. Where our perspective is will determine our reality experience, which is then threaded with from our belief patterns, your vibrational experience and how willing you are to transcend it so that you can see this open pattern of who you are as omnipresence. So this attachment experience comes from a multidimensional perspective and why it's oftentimes so challenging to transcend and move beyond. Because we don't necessarily, from what I've experienced and how I can explain it and why it's really exciting to transcend it in this new way. This is why it's so important that we talk about this and press it out, because it's easier than it has been entrenched within our DNA. Again, it's a multidimensional pattern based on the beliefs that we've held in a multi-galactic omnipresent experience, because Earth is where we're here to heal it. Earth is where we're here to rewrite it. Earth is where we're here to experience our reunification and our oneness, because the farther out you are from source, the higher that trajectory will be. Remember, we've talked about when it reaches that center point, the galactic center, we can reach out and expand and jet into these new experiences of higher light. And that's that process of evolution, micro, macro. Attachment is that multidimensional experience based on the beliefs that we've held from all multidimensional experiences, and it's threaded with us in our soul's blueprint to come forward and transcend. Everyone will be moving through in every perspective of their ascension experience at multidimensional levels and layers based on what you've come with to experience and transcend for your soul's family, your oversoul's family, and so on and so on. And everybody's perspective of transcending attachment will be different. Some may be very quick and easy to move through, and some might be deeper because they're deeply entrenched within eons of lineage. Attachment is systematic beliefs that we have ingrained and patterned through conformity, through subjugation, fear, and limitation, separation. And again, multidimensional at the 3D level, multidimensional at the body level, multidimensional at the galactic level. Attachment is what you believe to be true that you require for your safety at any level, the emotional level, the mental level, the etheric level, the physical level. Attachments are those beliefs that were held so true and so solid at one point in time that we believe to be true. And this is what's really exciting. Attachment, and we can let it go just as easy as cutting the string, because when we thread in a way, we'll give you an experience. If you're moving something at a 3D level, let's say, this is so easy. Your experience, and we'll get deeper into these attachments because it's more entrenched at a very level. We'll say a food addiction, and that attachment is that you just find it really challenging and difficult to move beyond the attachment of dairy, if you will. These attachments go deeper and entrenched within the DNA, within the belief patterns, the socioeconomic patterns, the familial patterns. And those patterns can be just as easily cut with that vibrational string to say, well, there's so many beliefs that are held with this one attachment with dairy that my body knows it's been telling me it's hard to digest dairy. I just really need to move away from it. But what am I attached to? Where's that core attachment belief? So that core attachment belief is that calling forward those beliefs and those core attitudes and those core perspectives to say, I don't need that anymore. This attachment to something that is 3D, that is no longer serving my 5D body, and I can transcend that. I choose to transcend that because we're taught at a very early age, the very earliest experiences of oneness and comfort and love is found between the mother and the baby through the breast milk and through feeding time and through nurturing and love and oneness. And they're very entrenched within our system of comfort and safety. And this is just one tiny, tiny, tiny example of how attachments are threaded within who we are as the human condition for our safety. Because remember, we go back to the human condition and this planetary experience. Throughout our entire galaxy, it's all threaded similarly, just in different familial, cultural, creatural, because remember, we're insectoids, we're spiders, we're ants, we're all of these different creatures on all these other planets and experiences that have very high consciousness. So we're calling ourselves as souls. We're souls. Our soul has these experiences through oneness, our belonging, our unity with Source. That's why we're here to heal this. Because our planet is moving through the releasing of attachment to belief patterns, experiences, and perspectives that no longer hold us in those subjugatory limitations. We're now receiving our oneness, our wholeness, our belonging, our comfort through our oneness with Source, Creator, as Source. And that's really, really powerful. And as I said, I could probably talk for hours on the various examples that we have about attachment and how it's entrained within the psyche at a multidimensional level within our collective. So how can we begin to rebuild and rewrite the human experience so that we're releasing attachment in every way? Every way. Because we also have attachment, and those that are moving through Ascension will experience this. There are those that have experienced and they're really comfortable with light. All they want to do is be around those that are light, and they have great presence around those that are light. But that's not the whole process of Ascension, because that's your attachment to the light and not accepting all that is Source, Creator in all of their experiences. Source is all that is. So that's in itself a limitation. So what we're now moving into these new gates of experience is the entire individual and the self, just like the cell. That cell to be individual, to say, well, there might be cells around me that might be denser and needing my help and requirements, and I'm just going to shine forward anyways to know that you're a part of this as well. And that's where unifying those energies of density into higher vibratory light, because you're carrying that expansiveness to say, all is Source. I'm standing in my power. I create my harmony and my comfort and my oneness and my belonging within myself as Source. I don't need anything outside of me to allow me to have this belonging. I don't need anyone outside of me to have this belonging of who I am. I don't need attachments, because all is Source. I'm attached to it all, connected with it all. So you can begin to let go of those deep programmings, because programming is like a computer program. You've come with computer programming throughout your soul's blueprint on all of your templates to say, what attachments am I ready to let go of? There's many here that are working through. We're seeing it on our planet right now in our socioeconomic systems, their attachment to abundance, because they've held limiting attachments. Any attachment is a limitation, whether it's to light or whether it's to a dense belief. So what we're moving to is the neutrality, knowing that all is Source. You then, through your higher wisdom and saying that I am one with Source, I am eternal, I am truth, I am my light, I can do anything. You then get to choose what direction you move in through that neutrality, through that grounding centerness, through your balanced harmony, to know it's all one. You're not judging it either way. You're not being so obsessed with this that you're actually pulling, because it's a magnetic experience. You're pulling all of those energies that will always be with you, because you're not honoring and appreciating and valuing it as the all. Remember, as we said before, we are in this mastery experience where we're constantly honoring, appreciating all as Source, all moments as Source. Not running from anything just because you're going to create this obsessive compulsive experience, which again, obsessive compulsive experience is another attachment, because it's due to safety. You feel as if you won't be safe. There's going to be something that will hold you back. That was one of the attachments that I released. My team just said, well, what are you afraid of? And I said, well, someone's going to hold me back. Something will hold me back, because I had visions and I could feel in my field where I was held captive. I was, punished and crucified. I was literally chained and pulled. I felt those energies. I felt those visionary experiences. And those create psyche imprints of the experience, that you come here in this now body to say that, well, I'm not being chained, but the energy vibration is in your template. It's in your field. It's a vibratory song. And we as cells are now healing this cell at the macro micro experience. I'm healing the cell of who I am so that I can radiate all that I am. and I'm releasing all attachments in every time they come up. The attachment to using that particular course of travel every day, that's an attachment, because there's fear if I go outside my course, I'm going to move into something that's unknown. And that is the core of attachment. We create attachments because of the safety through that separation from source. So we go to the center, we create our center point, our balance, our grounding with source, our oneness with source, our oneness with Mother, Father. We have all soulful wisdoms. Remember, our wisdom to transcend anything is from our soul. We're not a human experience as human with no connections with intelligence and spirit and source. We are a soul. We have access to all wisdoms. We are omnipresent. We have access to all healing. We have access to our infinity to create regeneration and wellness. And that's attachment as well. Again, attachment is so amazing just to look at this one topic. I could branch out on 3 hours just on this one topic because it's threaded at such a subtle level. Everyone moves through it. There's not one person that doesn't. There isn't. When you think about attachment, it comes at every level. Drinking certain things, the foods, the attachments we have with foods, and why do we have those core beliefs? Through fear, through less than, through not belonging, through not being comforted, not being held and loved unconditionally. The subjugation, being controlled and manipulated in any way, whether it's emotional, mental, or physical. All of these are ways that we are attached to certain belief patterns and experiences, thinking that, well, if I step out of the unknown, I might not be safe. And this is why everyone that moves through Ascension will be moving through their own various levels, threads, and layers and fields of experience, because we're healing this at a multidimensional, galactic, universal level, at the levels of attachment that we hold and why. So again, why we create self-care, doing your journaling, especially your dreams. Your dreams are going to be so profound in bringing forward these attachments. The fear of death is an attachment. You're attaching yourself to the physical so deeply that, because we've had so many lifetimes through which death was not pleasant, and that death, because we've had those death moments in moments of separation where we were not in our oneness with source, where we did not believe that we were eternal, we were not eternal with Gaia, that we believed that the world was working against us, those victimization energies, those are all energies of separation. And why we create those attachments is through our own safety. That's the ego. The ego does not know that it is spirit. It is spirit that has to entrain the ego to say, we're safe, we got this. I'm eternal, I got this. I got my guides, I got my teams. My teams have constantly been saying through me when I'm moving through a huge transition where I'm releasing huge attachment that's connected with 100 lifetimes, 110 at varying levels, whether it's food, not eating meat anymore. That was an attachment. It was a belief of not being accepted around others that ate meat and loved meat and wanted meat. Or it was a belief that you held when you were a kid because your parents always fixed you a meat, a potato, and a vegetable. And do you have to carry those familial patterns? Do you have to carry those familial attachments? You can release them. Just as if we're moving through familial attachments about school and education. Well, how can we create and rewrite the human experience on what attachments do we have about systems that no longer serve in the highest capacity way for these new higher vibrational templates that are coming online? How can we rewrite our systems to take the best of everything and say that I no longer need these attachments? I'm going to open-end it because I really want to fly. We have such potential here. We're touching like this much of our iceberg of what we're able to. And we say iceberg is the presence of crystalline energy. The transparent, clear, crystalline, I know who I am infinite. But that takes us to move through those daily self-care times where we're reflecting upon our dreams, calling in the wisdoms that's telling us, well, when are you going to let this attachment go? And it can be attachment to the past because you held an idea and a belief about your role, your definition, the dreams that you had when you were a child, what you were told as what was a good family, what was a traditional family, or what was on the outside appearances, your family looked perfect. And you don't want to break that attachment of what others saw of you or believed of you or wanted for you. And so how can you cut those attachments to say, this doesn't work for me anymore? Those are masks that are no longer my vibration. I can create from my own balance and oneness on my own definition of what a family is. A family is supportive, it's empowering, it's allowing everyone to explore their expansiveness in that core familial empowerment. And and unconditional love and unconditional support to fly and soar and expand. Every parent wants that for their child. But every parent also goes through those experiences of detaching. When the children are ready to leave home, when the children want to create their own uniqueness, whether it be through how they express themselves and how they dress, or the friends that they would choose to be with, their ascension path. Because remember, it's not up to us to tell them what their path is. It's up to them to explore it freely and creatively and have them create their own belief systems. That's sovereignty, because they're masters. They are here to direct themselves in that sovereignty and empower them in it, to encourage them that they do belong, that they are safe. That's our roles as a 5D parent, is to give them that understanding they're unconditionally loved. That's what, that way they don't create those attachments. It's at a multidimensional level. And most often than not, because we've come from such separation, limitation, dysfunction beyond belief, such dysfunction, our bodies and the emotional needs and desires from within at a core level of being spirit have never been sustained, maintained, and even satisfied and fulfilled. And that's why the attachments are created. We create them to satisfy that lack of self, that lack of belonging, that lack of harmony and love within, that lack of soothing and knowing that you're infinite, knowing that you're safe and you're loved and you're cared for, and it's all going to be okay. You have everything you need within you to move through whatever it is you're moving through. You don't need any attachment. You have everything. You are everything. So this is where we begin, releasing attachment at every level so that you can ever expand out into these greater templates of light. And that comes from, again, our daily self-care, your journal writing about your dreams, bringing forward something from the day before that's still niggling at you. Oh, is there an attachment here that I can let go of? Because attachments keep you bound. It's that subjugation. And it's what's called in the tarot deck, the devil energy. The devil energy are all those presupposed, and some of them aren't even ours. They come with the people that we live with, because we entangle in their energies, we entangle in their thought forms and their projections and their familial energies and ancestral energies. This is why it's really important to know who you are, create your semblance of self-sovereignty, to stand within your light, stand within your power, so that you know what your boundaries are and you're not taking on others' energies of attachments that don't belong to you. Then it's even harder to let go of and clear. Experienced, been there, done that. There's no right or wrong. It's just saying that why take on others' attachments that don't belong to you? They're here to work it out for themselves. That's their soul's journey, not yours. But to offer it your expressive light, your expressive empowerment, your expressive sovereignty, so that they can see that example and empower it and inspire it and encourage it within the children. You don't need any attachment, whether it's to computer gaming, whether it's to the internet, whether it's to social platforming. I mean, that's a huge thing, because it's our connection that we feel as if we belong. Well, take a day off. Can you take a day off? Can you allow yourself to take a day off to know that you are full, you're whole, you are belonged, you are you're soothed? Can you soothe those energies of those obsessive addictions? And if you can, then you're letting go of a lot of density that you thought you needed, but you don't. Because when you go within and you seek that inner oneness, you seek that inner centering, you seek that inner balance, and trust me, I've had so many, so I get it. At every level, it's subtle and different and deeper and richer. For me, my biggest a detachment that I'm moving through right now is the beliefs that I've come with at a very core DNA level about my role as a mother. And why I moved through the experiences that I did with a child, and through my upbringing, and through all of the remembrances that I have from all my multidimensional experiences, to trigger that deep DNA, just calling an experience right now, what's it called? Ancestor healings. Because we're healing it at a galactic level on what we have believed to be true about the divine feminine. And that's one of my priority soul transmutational energies, and it's held with an attachment. The beliefs that I was told and taught, that I've brought forward from many lineages and timelines about the role of the mother, the matriarch, understanding, and how have we warped it? How have we suppressed it? How have we subjugated it? How have we kept it in such limiting, degrading roles that have allowed us to feel disempowered, disengaged, completely exhausted, and not following our own soul's sovereignty. That's what we're working on at every individual level, as every cell and the collective wave is now moving, and why so many divine feminine women and men, because men come with the divine feminine, that they're here to transcend as well into these new experiences, so that this wave of new vibratory redefining, rewriting, the mavericks paving the way, clearing the way, so that we can create and be in pure refinement of those templates that run at a higher frequency of sovereignty and truth, that are in pure alignment with the divine mind, the divine programs of light for these new galactic experiences and new worlds that are being birthed from these new energies. Because we're healing it from all of the DNA that we come from all worlds, Greys, Sagittarians, Syrians, Lyrians, Orions, all of these energies that have been created through subjugation and limitation and fear and control. The Orion system, the many Orion wars that we've all created through control and greed. All of these experiences were subjugatory energies. We've passed down through our DNA that we've created our own worldly experience, our collective experience, and now it's playing out in our political arena. Well, how can we rewrite it? By understanding who we are, what we exist within, and what exists within us, and how to rewrite it. Let's rewrite it. If we so desire, it's always free will, because that's our planetary experience as well. But we don't have to move through continued experiences of attachment, because attachment in every way is a subjugation. It's a perspective that we've held in one level of vibratory awareness. So when we recenter, we rebalance, we create that self-care, we release, let go, forgive with honor, appreciation, and gratitude, those open-ended energies that allow us to spiral in new experiences. And spiral in new experiences. We're always being offered new experiences to spiral, and that's the multiverse experience. And our universe right now is moving through that catch point. We're into a new trajectory. Planet Earth is that cell within the universe that will help catalyze those experiences into a new universal experience. And so how do we review, attachment at another level? Through the diamond sacred heart, which is our mechanism for transmutation. It's the divine sacred heart, who we are with the Holy Mother, the Holy Father. All we need is here, releasing all attachment. So every time something comes up, you recenter and ground, as we talked about in all of our videos. Ground into earth, opening your divine sacred heart. Allow your soul and your higher self to live through you, and say, what am I ready to let go of? The let go platform. I'm ready to let this attachment to food or dairy or alcohol or drugs, whatever it might be, that is a belief, is an attachment that is at a lower, deeper, subtle level to your belonging, the peace that you are in yourself, your belief pattern of what you thought was your role or your definition that you can choose to rewrite. There's nobody stopping you. Nothing is stopping you to say you can't rewrite this. You can choose to rewrite any belief that you want. You're a free, sovereign being. And it allows us to let go of the fear and the control and the limitation by doing so. Those are the attachments. We're comfortable with those experiences of fear and separation and subjugation, so much so that we never question it. And so, why? Why? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you exist within? Do you know what exists within you? Because if you did, it's like, I don't need that anymore. Are you kidding me? Out in the heavens, man. I got this going on. And that's what this centering does. Centering within yourself, this diamond sacred heart, which the Christ showed me years ago, which can be seen on the Shroud of Turin, is this diamond experience. And this diamond experience is a part of the sacred geometry of who we are above and below. And we're calling it in, we're calling it up as we harmonize with our higher self and our oversoul, which becomes this diamond sacred heart, as well as the Merkaba that we harmonize within. And then we harmonize into a new choice. I am free, I am eternal, always harmonizing with our universal omnipresent truth. I'm eternal, I'm infinite, I'm one with Source Creator, I have all that I need within me. I don't need any outside attachment. And why so many will be moving through their challenges of attachment, oftentimes in those energies through the tarot that we've called the devil energy and the tower, because those towers will be brought in so that you re-examine, to reflect upon and reinvest yourself into a way that is more harmonized into a higher frequency of love and light. That's why we have those moments of change. They have to come. If we are resisting change and we're not releasing that attachment, then it will come in through Source Creator and your spirit and your higher self and your soul. Your higher self, your soul, your oversoul of oversoul, all that you're connected with all the way up to Source Creator, the central sun, will always, always, always offer you opportunities to create those free choices for yourself. And if you don't, then those spiritual choices will be made for you, whether it be through losing a job, through losing a house, whatever it might be, because then that will allow you in those dramatic moments, if you will, what am I attached to? You know, is that defining me? Are those roles defining me? And why did I let those roles define me? That's not who I am. I am with Source. I am pure love. I release those attachments. I release those beliefs. I release those subjugations. Just like I'm rewriting what my role is as a mother and what that means to me. It's an energy vibration that has been entrenched and steeped within the DNA, within the socioeconomic patterns, within our communities, with our collectives, within our familial belonging and upbringing, within the religious and educational systems. There's so many subtle entrenchments of attachment that we have oftentimes, whether it's our sexual orientation, it doesn't matter what attachment we look at, but we're all here to transcend it in minor and major ways. That's how change happens, you know. But these attachment energies are like, well, I don't need that anymore. It's not who I am. But to face it, to acknowledge it, that's that Mother Mary experience of the Holy Mother. Are you acknowledging your worthiness to say, I'm ready for a new experience that is infinite, open, and eternal? Because that's my truth. It's a constant realignment of your truth with your omnipresence. That's how you will always align to that higher thread and template of light that will be offered to everyone. But it's our free choice on whether we're willing to go or not, you know. And the more that we resist it, the more encumbered you will be by those attachments, because those strings will just keep wrapping you up until you feel as if you can't move anymore. And that's when the dramatic energies happen, because it's shaking you to say, well, what do you really value? What are your values? And this is what the center core is. What are your values? Are your values aligned with the core truth of who you are as an omnipresent being? Or what attachments are you threading that will keep entangling you in density, in worry, in obsessive thinking, in density of fear, you know? And that's what's happened with the collective. Our collective has been moving through such fear of safety and fear of their health and their wellness that they've forgotten that they are true masters of their own health and wellness and their infinite eternal experience with Source. We have these experiences so that we can realign to our highest truth, all that we exist within and what exists within us and who we truly are, so that we can release attachments of subjugation, fear, and control, so that our socioeconomic systems then serve us in a greater, higher vibratory way. Our socioeconomic systems are a reflection of those subtle attachments that we thought we had to money, to wealth, to abundance, to the monetary, what are they called? Status. You know, why my team told me years ago, release definition of who you think you are, because you're far beyond what you even have words for, you know. And that's when you begin to reach beyond. And that's what my teams have been telling me. When we center within the center point, we allow ourselves to ground with breath, to ground with Gaia, and realign with those higher vibrational blueprints that allow you to say that it doesn't matter what 3D word that you have that might allow you another boxed in attachment. Because every definition that we have has a vibratory attachment. And so choose how you define yourself wisely. You know, are you going to choose to align yourself with words and with experiences or videos that bring in energies that no longer serve the vibratory essence and energy of who you are as a central being? And this is why when you're moving through big, paramount, transcending moments of turning that corner and popping into something new on a new trajectory, you'll absolutely know without question that the TV shows you watch, the videos you watch, the food that you eat, all of those will come into question because they're held with attachment. You know, well, why am I watching this show? Why is this video appealing to me anymore? Because I'm absolutely feeling the entrenches of negative and energies that are defining my experience as something dark and dense. So it's really about allowing yourself to be fully aligned in every way. What allows me to be my most highest expressive being that I can be? I choose to drive forward through this soul experience. I drive forward in this experience of love and blessings and omnipresence. And I get to choose what I watch. I get to choose what I drink and what I eat. I get to choose the vibrations that I experience with, but to allow it to non-be attachment. that the all is available to you, but allow yourself to drive forward with an open experience and not attaching to any one specific outcome, because then you're limiting yourself again. You can limit yourself with light just as you can limit yourself with the density. Light is expansive, of course, and evolutionary, of course. But if you're saying that I only watch this and I only watch that, then you're not opening yourself to all the other things that you can gain and create light with, as opposed to like Gaia. So for those that are newly awakened, they might have little remembrances of the light, the wisdom, and the intelligence that is learned and gained through our interactions and our entanglements with Gaia. And so this is where we're moving into that neutrality of infinite wisdoms and experiences. The center of who we are allows us to be open, neutral, and allowing all to be source. When we're in this center point, we then choose from the highest perspective on the direction that we choose to take. And that's where we're allowing ourselves to step into the highest possibility and potentiality of who we are as spirit. Because as we do, good morning, sweetheart. Hi, baby. Hi. I'm just about done here. Okay. Because when we do, we allow ourselves, through centering and through balance, we allow ourselves to open through a greater harmonization. When we're open, we offer ourselves as source, as that cell, into a harmonizing pattern of light that is open, that will alchemize the densities, that will alchemize those beliefs that are, and again, I said, there's many levels and layers to attachment. The one that I am moving through, with the divine feminine, it's such a deep attachment that I'm moving through it for many, many years and releasing little bit by little bit. But in this harmonization, this divine sacred heart and your pillar of light opening into this is the harmonizing agent. It allows us to create those higher light programs and be harmonized within it. Remember, we're constantly being harmonized to be aligned with our highest soul's potential, because your soul will guide you. Now, that's another important part. In your neutrality, your soul will offer you, and this is just a part of growth and expansiveness, your soul always, 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 without question, without doubt, will always allow you the highest potentiation for love, growth, and oneness of who you are as pure love of source. It just does. That's its role. Your soul and your higher self will guide you, and all your teams and all your guides guide you to benevolent soul growth. It will never, ever lead you into something that is dangerous. It will never, ever lead you into something that will bring your life in question. It is through that lower mind, the ego, through those fears and those worries and those lack of, that pull us into those entanglements and threadings and entrenchments. It's not the higher self. The higher self will guide you away from that. The higher self will always guide you towards your highest and your best. So that is something really key and good to allow yourself to continue to reaffirm to yourself every day, that your soul knows what it's doing. Your higher self is guiding you every step of the way. You're one with Mother, Father. You can release those attachments of being in fear of your life, or being in fear of being led astray, or being in fear of not having enough food, or being in fear of not abundance. Your higher self, your soul, you're connected, you're threaded as one. You are infinite. You have infinite wisdom. You have infinite love. You have infinite nourishment. You have infinite power through all that you are as light. And that brings us into this open harmonization of the all. So if you know that and you practice and affirm this every day, because we haven't been practiced it, we've been taught and told things in different ways, in different forms, through our family, through our society, through our DNA, our lineage, our Akash, our multidimensional experiences, and why these attachment issues are so exciting to transform and transmute, that we're transmuting all of those threads that are little packets of energy held within the psyche template, the mental, and all those other things we talked about, that you can transmute into highest light. You are eternal and one with your soul. Your soul knows what it's doing. Your soul will feed you and nourish you with everything you need to reaffirm and start living as this benevolent being of holy light. And having the all available to you, you'll see it, you will perceive it. You will perceive those dense moments, you'll perceive those miraculous, magical moments. Then you get to choose not to be attached to anyone, but choose from that highest state of perspective as your source creator. This is where I choose to go now. I want to experience this and explore this. Because your soul will always bring in moments so that you can harmonize into a higher, unified experience of your omnipresence. That's why the soul exists. That's why your higher self exists. To constantly pull you into higher threads of templates, higher vibratory experiences, so you release that attachment on your self-worth. You release those attachments of belonging. You release those attachments of whatever they were, because they were not in alignment of your highest pure truth. That's what your light allows you to experience and explore and express. Your light is your greatest asset. Your light is your greatest tool and gift and blessing that is Source Creator. And the Source Creator has told me often many times where I've been in those moments of, confusion and, why am I going through all of this? And the Source has always blessed me that your blessing of Source Creator, of God, of Spirit, of the Creator, omnipresence is always within you. So when you go in and you seek this and you harmonize with it and you allow it and you honor it and you value the light that you are, those blessings will come forth to shoot you into a new trajectory. This is what this trajectory alignment is always about. It's the alchemy. It's your portal of alchemy to trajectory you into something new that is open, that is allowing in full alignment of your highest truth. Because you're connected with Gaia's blueprint. You're connected with the heavens blueprint. You're living it through you. You're the portal through which it all is transmuted. It always sounds so simple, right? So how do we transmute it? Well, you center in and you begin to get excited about who you are and excited about change, excited about the unknown. Because many of the attachments that we create and have created for ourselves and that are created for us, and sometimes we take them on from others that we unknowingly take on. And the more aware you are and the more attuned you are as your light bodies turn on, as your fields turn on, you'll get to say, well, that doesn't feel like me. That's not me. That's not me at all. I let that go. You then harmonize. So how we transcend it is by really getting excited about the omnipresence, really getting excited about our inner divine universal truth. The unknown is where we're meant to be and meant to go. So let's get excited about it. It can be anything we want. As we harmonize as a collective, remember those cells we told you at the beginning are harmonizing and vibrating together, all being pulled together by these threads of higher vibratory experiences, the soul of the higher self. As you're awakening to your synchronicities, the attunements that your teams offer you, all of those, beautiful, magical, mystical experiences that pull you into these new beginnings, then we allow ourselves to truly see at a collective level, we're moving into the unknown and we're just going to explore our omnipresence. Put no definitions on it whatsoever, because within those definitions, there's still attachments vibratorily, because we are completely rewriting this 5D experience. So even our dictionaries and all that we've created will absolutely change, not only from a scientific level, because many of our words are rooted within our experiences as through the human condition. Our human condition, we're rewriting and healing and changing in every way. So it must change vibratorily. That's what we're doing, each and every one of us. We are the pioneers of a new creator experience within a 5D template of energy. We're being offered it from above. We live it from the elements in earth that we are, because Gaia has her vibratory template plane. And that's why grounding and being with her is so important, to anchor our body, to nurture it, to nourish it, to balance it, to harmonize it. As above, so below, as within, so without. And it's a beautiful harmonization process. And again, feel free to listen to this over and over and over again, because many of these teachings, you'll get something one day, you just want to focus on one part of it, and you'll click something the next day. So allow yourself time to integrate, allow yourself time to reflect, allow yourself time to choose what feels good for you, allow yourself time to discern where your path is and where you choose to go with reflection and entanglement and communion with your higher self and your teams and your guides. And you allow yourself to look and perceive in your reality very open and pondering and childlike. Is there any attachments that I can let go today? And most often than not, you'll find something threaded somewhere that will be attached to even a deeper belief. And this is where my belief with my role as a parent and a mother is so deeply entrenched into the divine feminine that is multi-galactic, multiverse. And it's healing many, many, many beautiful lineages and experiences. Thank you, Mother. And how do we align within that center? It's very easy, and our evolution has always been very beautiful and easy. It's through breath. Your intention to center through breath, to bring all that you are as a beautiful holy consciousness into the center of all that you are and love all that you are as a divine feminine, to bring all of those energies of attachment that were misused and abused and misunderstood, and to cut them loose, to have them transmuted by Source Creator through your intentions, your invocations, and to say, I choose to create this as my new belief system. Not taking it from anybody else's, but from your own unique belief system. And this is why we're creating, for the children to empower, encourage, and inspire them to have their own beliefs, to know that they are eternal with Source, that they are safe, that they are nurtured, and they belong. And they will come up with higher frequency beliefs that will thread within their soul's ascension, their soul's blueprint into these higher vibratory threads that they're already connected with. because they're the ones that are opening us to these experiences. Their vibration here on the planet has opened us up to these new vibratory experiences, being blessed again by the Holy Mother through the Divine Life programs. And so we just want to capture this just for the omnipresence, the alignment with our omnipresence. The omnipresence is our light. Our light is our power. Our light is how we are alchemy. We alchemize everything that is needing to be rewritten, any type of density in our multidimensional experience, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or etheric. These will all be brought forward as we're being offered light, that will be brought forward through our releases, through our everyday experiences, as to what am I ready now to transmute and transform, and our light will do that through our direction if we so choose. We are nourished by our light at every level. Our light nourishes us in our physical body. It nourishes us, our mental body. It nourishes us emotionally, energetically. Our light is all that we are and all that we need. Our light will guide us. Our light will nourish us. Our light will show us. Our light will create abundance with us. Our light is all that we need. That's why we can let go of the attachments of what we thought in the 3D material realm to keep us safe and in harmony and in balance, which it never has. The outside realm has never done any of that for us. That those have been the illusions and the beliefs that we have created. Because remember, we create the physical reality from our belief systems and our perspectives. So as we rise to a higher perspective, we're creating a higher vibrational reality through which we understand that all things that are physical are actually spirit and energy anyways. And our light is, again, multidimensional in all realms, all fields, all potentials. So our light is our most expansive potentiation for our human potentiation, for our collective, planetary, galactic multiverse. And in this, allowing, again, we're always harmonizing with the universal omnipresent truth. We are eternal. We are infinite. We are expansive. We can transcend any attachment at any level. I am that I am. I am as my name is. And how we move through that, understanding that, is because the light in and of itself, remember, one of the truths about the omnipresent experience is we were breathed. And at our highest level of our first incarnational experience, we were breathed by Source Creator. The perfection of the Holy Mother and the Holy Father, the energy vibrations of similitude, the attributes of the male, the attributes of the divine female. In this particular universe, it's not this way in all universes. This particular universe giving us those experiences of that duality and polarity of the vibratory attributes at its highest frequency of co-creation. We are living now in a higher frequency of co-creation. How can we see those attributes of the male and the female differently at a higher frequency? That's why we've come to transcend the attachments. So the light that we are will always be propelled, because as our first breath, we were breathed through Source, through the purity and the loving intent at a vibration that we have no idea of how to explain and understand because it's beyond our definition. Our very first incarnational breath that we were breathed by Source into life at the highest frequency that we can imagine was because of the joy and exploration of who we are as Source. That Source created that delineation to say, I want to experience who I am in creation. I'm going to create life. And that's when that juxtaposition of energies was created. The Metatron experience, the Metatronic light, the Metatronic science and programming at light level. It's not meant in a dense level that we've connected those attachments to. We mean light at the expansive light program level. How do we program light so that it's expansive and evolutionary? That's how we were breathed. So we are aligning as our individual moment. How can I align to my greatest light? I want to experience who I am. I experience who all I am in the vibration, core vibration that I am, by exploring who I am, by expressing who I am, by experiencing all that I am, because we are micro, macro Source. So from this core vibration, we call in those experiences, we call in those relationships, we call in those magnetized. Remember, it's a magnetic experience. We're constantly pushing and pulling so that we can transmute from our center and say, this is who I am now. This is who I am now. This is who I am now. It's all right. It's all real. But we're constantly realigning to our highest omnipresent truth. And why? We can always see in every moment, I'm being breathed anew right here by Source. How can I align with my highest truth of who I am? How can I let go of those attachments that hold me back in subjugation? Because at the Source level, you can reimagine. This is what I often do to transcend dense beliefs. And when my energy systems get fearful because of all my past Akashic experiences, that moving into the unknown, change had been traumatic. So those are, again, attachments that I'm transcending and cutting and transmuting. And I visualize it, well, I'm being breathed by Source right now. I'm being breathed new. So I'm transcending it just as I visualize the first time that I was breathed by source, the most unimaginable, unconditional, loving experience you can imagine. This is what we're reunifying for. That's that divine discontent that we keep seeking. That's that reunification, remembrance. The source is the soul that we are as eternal. That's why this desire, this devotion, that's what continues the evolution. And this is why I'm offering this to you. It's the mirrored micro macro experience. Our light is all that we are and all that we will ever need. Through that light, there's always got to be that catalytic experience within the equation. That catalytic experience is always that excitement, that desire, devotion, that excitement to be who we are fully. That's that catalyst that will always project us into this new now moment. Off we go. That's the desire of the soul, of the spirit, of the light. The light will always be catalyzed to explore something new. That's the soul's experience. Source's experience is for us. I want to experience myself as source. So source says, I'm so joyful. I'm a child. I'm going to create. I want to experience love. I want to experience you in a new way. You're perfect. You're beautiful. I love you. You will always belong to me. You will always be a part of me. I love you unconditionally, no matter what you do or say. I love you. I forgive you. I so love you. I so love you. I so love you. Go play. That source creator, in only the way that I can put it in. It's far beyond that, of course. I'm humble enough to understand that. I'm giving it to you in the words that we have. So anytime you come up with those big attachment moments where you're really releasing something deep and dense, it's threaded at a multidimensional level. Imagine yourself being breathed by source for the very first time. Really get excited about the unknown. Really get excited about who you are. Really get excited about how you're able to move through the various cocoons that you're breaking free from. These cocoons are representative of attachments. It's our place where we grow and where we're nourished. And then we let go. There's many in many cultures where the mother and the child go through detachment rituals, where the child is brought up and nourished to a point, just as source does with us, every new realm of play, every new vibratory experience of play. And the divine mother says to the child, you have all you need in these very beautiful sacred rituals. And the divine mother would take the child and they would go through a very sacred experience in many different ways, because every culture had different experiences of these detachment rituals, of coming of age, if you will. And we've lost sight of many of these tribal and ancestral experiences that helped us become who we are. And we've lost that. And that's why so many children and so many young adults go into the world feeling so chaotic and alone, and why they move through what they do. Because we haven't gifted them with the energies right from birth, that you are eternal, you're infinite, you're one with source creator, you are spirit, you have everything you need within you. I'm here to empower you, encourage you, and inspire you. As you break free from the cocoon, as you grow within who you are, as your wings get strong, as you allow yourself to prepare for your greatness, as you allow yourself to prepare for your omnipresence. And this is what evolutionary dimensional frequencies are all about. We move from density into light so that we can spread our wings and soar infinitely, not based within vibrational patterns of attachment. That's what attachment is. They're patterns of vibrational belief that are illusory. It's not our real truth. Our truth is freedom and illusion, free from the illusion of the packages that we thought we came in. And it can be a package of anything. The foods I'm meant to eat, the people I'm meant to see, the people I'm meant to explore, the places I'm meant to explore, how I want to explore and experience myself and express myself. Those are all packages of beliefs and their definitions through attachment, through the beliefs of separation. I mean, again, this is why I say we can go on for, it's just so amazing. It's so, so profound. And so as you're moving through the excitement, remember that the catalyst is you. You will always be given that catalyst that the spirit desires to stretch out and branch out and spiral out. That catalyst that is that desire, that devotion, that excitement to go into the unknown, to create the unknown, to explore yourself as the unknown. Those are all beautiful, excitements, of exploration. And in doing so, you heal all realms that you're connected with, these vibratory threads that you heal by releasing and healing those attachments. Your connection is always one with source. You will always have opportunities that will be offered and blessed through your higher self, your soul, your oversoul, your oversoul of oversouls that's connected with the highest frequencies of where you're breath from source. There will always be blessed opportunities for you to soar and spread your wings. To do so, it requires that we release attachment. The beliefs, the understandings, the subjugations that we've held about who we are, what we exist within, and what exists within us. So profound, so mind-boggling. So exciting. So get excited about who you are. Get excited about what you're creating. Get excited about the unknown. The unknown can be far beyond the most exciting, expansive experience you ever thought possible. Allow yourself the benevolence of who you are as expansive, infinite light, and it will be returned to you. You get to choose how your reality looks. You get to rewrite who you are cell by cell. You are infinite light. You are expansive potential of infinite capacity to love and rewrite your future. So let's do that without attachment on either side. Be neutral and know that the all is available to you, and then go for it. And that's living as the highest vibrational being that you can be in any moment, choosing from that highest perspective of neutrality to allow all to be okay. All to be okay, because we always have those ebbs and flows. It's an ebb and flow perspective. Like I said, and as you do so, you know that you're that lightened cell that comes through with those higher perspectives, and you begin to create that vibration where other cells connect with you and other fields connect with you, so that you become, as a collective, moving through this new harmonic song of infinite potentiality that is releasing attachments to what it thought it knew. Because what we thought we knew, even in the highest potentiation of any word that we have, any physic, any science, anything that we think we know now, is only tipping into the window of what our potentiation is. So we can't necessarily define it or create an attachment to it or put a box around it. We are stepping out of the box and beginning ourselves into this free play of infinite potentiality. And how utterly wonderful. And just to end this beautiful session, we wanted to talk about wellness. So again, your self-care, your journaling about your dreams, and grounding is so really important. But I found this beautiful. It's beautiful. I've been looking up and feeling the beautiful taste of ginger and how it just makes my body feel really refreshed and really cleansed, if you will. Ginger, if you wanted to look it up online and check with your doctor, your homeopath, is a really great multidimensional agent, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and so on. And it tastes really great with water and different tonics. And there are many health food stores. In the health food section, in the organic section, you can buy condensed, you can see the condensate, the concentration of it at the bottom, because it's usually a lot darker than the top. And I also got this in the organic section, and it's not only a bug spray, but it's a room clarifier, an aura clarifier. And so it's just spraying these throughout your day to clear away any energies if you've been around a lot of people, and just to clear the air as well. So they have lots of these beautiful sprays that you can get in the organic section of most grocery stores and health food stores. And just to keep the space cleared and cleansed and free, and that effervescence of lightness. And doing that regular cleansing of your space and your sanctuary is really important, through sound, through intention, painting your walls, new colors with intentions on that color. Anything that you can do to create that sacredness of oneness and that sacredness of infinite potentiality of who you are as an omnipresence. Your vibration that you offer changes your experience of it. Whether it's your space, whether it's your body, whether it's your food, whether it's your tonics, you offer that intention of your experience within it, because it's an entanglement experience. This is what the universe energy is. It's about us understanding all that we are, what we exist in, and what exists within us through our intentions, our directions, our entanglement with it. And we get to choose. So beautiful. So awesome. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. And again, we'll talk about many of these subjects, but this video has been really long, so I'll go now, and I'm going to get my kids some breakfast. I love you so much. And thank you so much for tuning in. And we love you and we adore you. And allow yourself to be free flowing in that beautiful fluid of movement of who you are as omnipresence. It's the Holy Mother, the Holy Father, and the beautiful Christ conscious body and water body that you have within you to activate and entangle in your infinite potentiality. And we love you. Namaste.